is there for a long time. Generative AI is just something that generates new content as its primary output. So just think like that. Any AI tool that is generating an output is termed as generative AI. There are three main things that are important in generative AI, the three steps. One is, as Lean was also telling about prompt engineering, right? The input is very important. How you are asking the AI engine to give you a particular solution. Then what happens that whatever you give as a prompt, as an input, example, what you give in ChatGPT, you will have something like a uh, it will process your prompt and it is going to give an output as desired. And why I tell output as desired, you can always go back and you can always change the output, change the input and get a better output. And this is the power of generative AI and how it becomes better the more you use it. And I'm sure if all of you us are using ChatGPT for almost more than 10 months, you will see that it has improved its responses because it has been learning from your previous outputs and your responses. And this is very, very powerful. Now, coming to use cases, this is from AWS Research, uh, this publication. There are mainly three things that are important. I may go a little technical, but I know the audience is mixed, so I'll just try to keep it simple. Text to text is what ChatGPT type of interface where you give an input as a text to get an output. Text to image is like you have text and the capability of an image to learn about text. ChatGPT has really introduced that in ChatGPT 4 and the DALL-E 2 type of models. And there is something called as a multi-model. Multi-model is like a mixture of everything, like a LLM that also works with images, it also works with sound and also with text. And there are a lot of use cases, as you can see. I will not go one by one. In every 5 pillars of the industry, you can pick up and start building some particular use case that is in this metrics, right? And for every company, like right now, the low hanging fruit is the digital customer experience. Lot of generative AI capabilities are being used for content creation, conversational type of AI, and all those things that every one of us here can start using it as Lee mentioned, that every employee can start using it as a tool to generate very good personalized emails, professional emails, and getting ideas for your creatives and all those things. And these are the very low hanging fruits, but you can go very much technical as well. So now coming to how you can use it. So before we talk, and I just asked a question also to Lynn, like a company, if they want come to us and talk about what is a generative AI roadmap for us. So there are 6 things that generally we 6 main steps, but I'm going to talk about the first 4 is uh, first of all, as I was telling you about the strategy, I know it takes time if we don't, but if it is a big organization, you have, and why I tell you this is that for small companies and SMEs and startups, it is very quick to adopt generative AI. But the big companies, they already have an AI and data strategy already in place. So combining generative AI inside that becomes easy. But if a company does not have AI and data strategy, they are not collecting the data properly, they don't have a security and governance in place properly, that may cause a problem in the near future because of the second part that I'm talking about, responsible AI, which also we talked about, is very, very important. Because not only your companies, if there is a accuracy issue in your output, not only it is going to harm the revenue of the company. Like right now, if we are using personally to generate some content, if it is wrong, we may edit it or it may not cause a major impact. But if in a business setup, if there is a output that is wrong and the customer you may lose a customer, and it is a direct dollar revenue impact, brand impact, credibility impact. So the chances of a big company losing its credibility increases a lot, and that is why many of the companies are still hesitant. And as Lean was telling me, they are in the ostrich mode. They are still waiting and seeing about it. And it, because see, companies like Unilever, P&G, they have built Pfizer, they have built credibility over years. And because of some issues in their conversational AI, they may lose a lot of credibility. And this is why they are not going in and out. And but let's see that is the particular thing that is there. Let me just, and now coming to the this part about maturity. Like many of the companies, they are not matured in the AI, then that is the very important part for us to understand where they are lying in the maturity curve. And according to that, like whatever the strategy is, and where suppose the strategy is to again come to build conversational AI chatbots, but when we assess the maturity, they are not even having a proper local data repository or a proper data system in place to uh, go ahead. Because if you don't have a local data in place, you cannot just use open AI API calls to build a particular bot. So this is very, very important. And accordingly plan, have a 1 year plan. I know 1 year sounds big, but at least you have a step by step plan first to make sure that whatever you're doing, it as Lean also mentioned, talk to your employees, give them trainings, uh, introduce them to Copilot like Microsoft Copilot or Chat GPT Enterprise. uh, Teach them the give education, be open to these technologies, and those things also come in your maturity. Because at the end of the day, your employees should be flexible to use these technologies very well. Now, coming to the fourth point is this is very important about prioritizing your opportunity. You have to build a quadrant upon the project complexity and the business value, and whichever falls in the top, which has giving more value and less complex, you should go for that. And then according to that, you can I will not go into fifth and sixth step to now, but these are the main things that are there. Finally, you will have a tactical roadmap including your policies that are there, and this is in the later step. Now, when I was talking about generative AI responses, so for a company, these when how they can use this generative AI, how they can improve the generative AI. The first step for any company starting with, and any company using this technology for solving a business problem or building an application, it will be the first step will be prompt engineering. Most of the problems, if you are doing proper prompt engineering, can be solved. Then if this does not happen, if you want some local data and you want some specific use case that you are using your local data, then you have will go for the retrieval augmented generation. I will not go into the technicalities, but the knowledge is coming from your local data, and your reasoning power is coming from the LLMs like OpenAI, Llama, and all those things. The third, if this is not solving a problem with the, and while I'm going step by step, you are adding everything, right? Prompt engineering plus RAG plus fine tuning, wherein you are now changing the weights of your LLM to making it smaller, making it little bit, you can say, optimizing it for the cost and everything, and using it for your use case. And this happens for large scale enterprise where they have to make sure that it is cost effective as well. If these three are not solving, then our you can build your own LLMs, and that is the last step. And this is what big companies are already doing, like Amazon launched Titan, and Amazon AWS launched Titan, and these are the LLMs that companies are launching, and they are using it, and they are general purpose, but they can be fine-tuned for specific use cases. So these are the ways you can improve your generative AI responses. Now coming to application development, the major talk of my where the future is going about generative AI, it is not only about our chat GPT interaction. How we are developing applications is really changing. So I'll just give you a quick background. Three main steps are there to build any AI application. And this is, I'm telling you, it's a very simplified way. We can go in details about everything, but these three steps you should be aware of. Instruction, how you are giving the instruction to that application, what knowledge you are using, what local knowledge you are using for making this application more optimized and more accurate, and what actions you are taking. Actions is like, because in an application you need to have an action, you need to, if this from where to get the information, steps of different you can say activities to give you the proper output. Because it is not only just coming from open AI and for LLM, they need to do an application action. Like suppose you want to build an AI application to send automated emails to your different customers according to their name and their persona. So this is going to integrate that with that. One simple example of action in these type of framework is something like a Zapier AI automation, that you can use to over your application to do the activities for you. So these are the three simple steps for us to make. And then coming to how these applications are built, and this is very, very important. Initially, when in my days when I was a data scientist, 15 years back, when I used to build a traditional supervised learning, so this is, just think about it as a AI application. When generative AI was not there, it used to take a year labeling data, training data, and deploying the data. But now, because of this new technology that I'm talking about, instructions, knowledge, actions, quickly you can build an quick application within weeks that can solve business problem. And this is the way we are changing the way application development is happening, and this is very, very important right now. Now coming to the future. Where is the future? And today's talk is more about the little bit advanced what is going to happen, and what I personally feel as an educator and a mentor is that there are already a lot of hardwares that are already in place. We all know that companies like Nvidia, Intel, they are the companies that are making huge money because of the, at the end of the day, generative AI, you, whenever you're using it, you are using processing power, you are using chips. And this, you know how there are a lot of chip shortages for Nvidia, we all know about that. And this is the main layer of this generative AI. The second thing is the infrastructure layer, because we cannot run a generative AI model on our local system because of the capacity limitation. So there are infrastructure tools like AWS cloud that we are using to do that, Google Colab, Azure AI. And then we have developer tools. So I'm just naming a few. This is not a sponsored event, it's just naming a few in the market. There are a lot many that you want to use uh, over this hardware layer that is there, and the infrastructure layer. And then at end of the day, and this is the most important part where I request everyone to take care, is the application and the use case level. So there are hundreds of applications that are using this infrastructure developer tool and hardware to build solutions. So as a business, most of you are doing solving to a business problem here. Think about a solution that you are trying to solve. Use the technology that is behind it and solve it. And don't think about the AI. As someone mentioned, like, don't think about the AI, think about how you can solve the problem. AI is the taken part by all the infrastructure developer and the hardware, and this is where the future lies. In every business that you are doing, try to solve it using the power of AI. And this is very important. And this next slide will come, you need to see there is a place where some in the web3 or in the digital space, there are few areas where there is lot of values, like ad web search. You know that online there is a very huge market of advertisements. Billions of dollars are being spent on advertisements and web searches, because this is how the digital economy is based on. And there are a lot of competition in that area. The big three, the big technology players are fighting for this area, and I personally see a lot of startups are focusing on this area. They are trying to solve the ad problem, they're trying to solve the web search problem, and there is too much competition there. But the main crux and what I feel is in the tail end of this particular supply chain, wherein you have the low value of small companies that are there. So small, when I say small companies, the company is small, they are doing their business, like suppose a restaurant, a big chain of restaurant, they are very good in making food, the whole food supply chain, but they don't have AI to do food inspection. So they can use these technologies to integrate and make their quality of food better. Wheat harvesting, material grading, how, because wheat harvesting is one, because at the end of the day, farming and food is one of the major things in our economy. How you can make sure that what is the correct and optimal time of doing the harvesting using this drone technology and AI technology that is there. Material grading. So these are the low hanging fruits where I feel AI can be used. These businesses know the data very well. We can integrate our capability and we can help them to build a solution where they can just give the data or prompt. The code will be taken care by developers like us, and they will have a solution. And this is where I feel the future is going to go. Every small businesses who have good data are going to use these technologies and become better. And this is where I focus everyone who is here. You don't need to go again and fight in the ad and web search area. Leave it for the big players. Focus on what you are doing and try to use AI in that area and become a better business. Now coming to the challenges, and this is very, very important, and I wanted to add, because as if any technology comes, there is always a challenge. So we have to, because now we have billions of tokens, so no one knows exactly who is the owner, and this is a big issue that is there. We should leave all that to the government, but as a company or as a business owner, we should know about the current affairs, like what is happening, what rules are happening, and how the company can integrate with that. Data security is very important. How secure is your customer data when you are using these tools? Are they secure? Do they have a proper data governance in place? And biasness, we should be aware of all those things that are there. Accuracy is very important. When I told about responsible AI when in my previous slides, please keep that in mind. If you have a good responsible AI framework and you have ticked all the check boxes, you may not have so much challenges. But we know that this field is ever growing and a lot of new things are happening. So these things will come up. So you be aware of the challenges. In every talk that a keynote speak I give, I always talk about these challenges, because everything is good and everything depends upon the human who is using it. So the human has to know all these things. They should be aware that these things can happen. The credibility is very, very important. Be sure that whatever you're releasing is safe and secure. Integration with your existing workflow is very, very important. And I was telling earlier on, you have to align your generative AI strategy to your data AI and the company strategy. If you are using AWS as a solution and you feel that you want to directly go and use OpenAI or Azure AI to do a solution completely off the shelf, it may not align to your system, because you have already spent millions of dollars in making an AWS ecosystem. Try to do something in AWS itself. So these are the things that you need to understand as a company. You need to just use it as an add-on. No need to create a complete different infrastructure that is there on your existing workflow, on your existing models that you are using. Try to integrate generative AI if possible, and that is the best way possible. And now, before I go ahead, I will just give three quick takeaways. Identify one use case. I showed you a lot of use cases. Take one use case, and I know that you as a practice, be sure of the what you are doing. May try to make a POC, talk about it. This may not only help you, but also it will give a credibility, and talk about this in your organization as a POC, and how you can make this on the company AI strategy. And now coming to the second point, as I was telling you, integrate it, the company strategy, whatever you have. If you have a data strategy, if you have an AI strategy, integrate the generative AI, how you can use generative AI, how you can have a plan to give proper workshops, proper trainings to your employees, and then take it one step further. And then prompt engineering is very, very important. We should, as an individual who is using these technologies, because now search, we have been using Google search for a long time. Now search is being getting replaced by prompts. So if you are good in prompt engineering, you will get better responses. And whatever you are doing, as Lean also mentioned, your productivity or creativity will increase by these tools. So I think I will give some time. I have for questions. I have talked my time exactly. I have some extra time for questions and answers. So thank you, everyone. This is my LinkedIn. So I am very active on LinkedIn. I am like advocate of AI, and also I have an AI community. And why this AI community? If I can just take 2 minutes to talk about this. This artificial intelligence is the new electricity right now. My mentor Andrew NG, he talks about this, that this is like a new electricity. No one can learn electricity. No one can learn artificial intelligence. That is one misnomer that you should understand. No, you cannot learn, but you can use it. Two, you can use the components of that. And one of the major components of artificial intelligence is data science. That is the community, my company name, and the community that I have created is around AI. It is not only for data scientists, it is for every individual who has interest in artificial intelligence to know about it. how to go, because this is the industrial revolution 5.0, right? Where you are going to use AI in everything that you are doing. If you are using a mobile, if you are using an email, if you're even Zoom that you are using right now has AI component inside it. Every part of your life has AI component in right now. So as an individual, as a business, you should know what it is, and that is this main you can say source of inspiration to make this community. We are on very very active on WhatsApp, and we do a lot of events, but we have across platform, we are 70,000 strong, and we are a global community based out of Dubai. But I will request everyone to who is listening to the call or recording, maybe get in touch with me for any further questions. And now, thank you, Abdul.